morning, everyone. Hello, hello, and hello. This is another episode of The Devil's Advocates. And again, we're here today. Oh, well, I guess I should say I'm here today. I don't know. I guess when I didn't feed my co-host named Shipman loaf last week, I didn't make them any, so they decided just to leave me alone up in here today. So I guess it's Django going at it alone. I guess I got a couple of my co-hosts. They're gonna come on through a little bit later on the day. My homegirl serving tea. She's out on location on the planet Jupiter somewhere. Of course, Stanley, he's always on location somewhere. Little Rock Bay, she's going to always make her probably fashionably late entrance down the pole here. And Captain Mike, of course, he's probably drunk somewhere as usual. I usually can't keep him vertical. Okay, everyone, good morning. And again, we have a very special episode here of The Devil's Advocates. I'm here to go ahead and announce we got some really special guests here that we really have been long overdue in doing this segment here, which is doing the anti-violence, All Black Lives Matter, anti-violence, stop the violence campaign with the Crawford family here, and I'm so glad to have them here today. I want everyone who's listening out in Radio Land to say hello to them, and we're going to go ahead and put them on and let them start talking. Good morning, gentlemen. How you guys doing there?
I'm fine.
Doing great. How about yourself?
Y'all okay? I mean, come on. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We on radio and we on video, so it's okay. Okay. So, gentlemen, come and talk about it because this has really been a lot of stuff that has been in the news lately. We have been dealing with so many things that have been affecting our community. And I wanted to talk with you guys. Tell us exactly what you guys are, what you guys do. Introduce yourselves for the ladies and gentlemen out there in TV and radio land. And, Cordial, tell us a little about yourself and tell us what you guys got going on.
All right, my name is Karoma Smith. I'm the president of the Stop the Violence for TANK, the Aaron Crawford Anti-Violence Organization. Along with me today is his father, Alvin Crawford. What we're doing is bringing awareness to the violence in the city of North Little Rock, but not only there, we're trying to bring awareness to cities of Little Rock and all other surrounding cities here in the state. So our purpose is to provide outlets for the youth to teach them anger management, control, educate them on the things that we have to offer in the city. So those are some of the things that we're focusing on as a group in the organization right now.
Okay. And the gentleman beside you, anything you want to say? Come on, bro. You can say something. Come on, you can say something. It's okay.
Yeah. But I'm trying to, keep other parents and, relatives and everything from going through what I'm going through right now, with the death of my son, my only child,
Mm-hmm.
So, it was senseless,
Right.
So, I don't want nobody else to go through these times, So I'm going to be out there pushing it with them, to try to, make sure don't nobody else go through it, because it's a hard road to go down,
It is.
Lose a child.
I agree. I think it's almost impossible. I mean, me, myself, I almost had to deal with it with a friend. I think that no parent, should have to bury their child.
Correct.
Typically children have to bury their parents.
Yeah.
No parent should have to bury their child, and it's very hard. It hollows you out. Yeah. So I want to send my condolences to you, brother. We're going to pray for you. I know it's real hard. And, we have really been dealing with this. I mean, in the light of a lot of violence that we've been seeing, even with the police, against our own community. Yeah. And, and I'm going to be real with you. One of the first things we hear when we hear this is, why are we sitting around here talking about, the type of violence being perpetrated against our people when our people perpetrate violence against each other?
Absolutely. I agree with that. And that's one of the biggest things that we're trying to get out and focus on, that, we have to look in the mirror ourselves and look within to see some of the solution to the problems. And a lot of times we want to sit around and talk about so-and-so need to do this, so-and-so should do that, the police did this, the police did that. But in true reality, especially in the black communities, if we look inside ourselves, inside the communities, the solutions are there. We just have to get together and make a movement and take a stance on the movement and make sure that, we're being that positive role model. We're being that father figure to some that don't have a father. So, with that being said, that, it has to be actions with the words.
Right.
Not just saying that what needs to be done. We have to come up with some action plans and act on them. We had a community forum last night, had a great turnout. It was 40 plus people was there, and 40 plus people are now on board and willing and want to step up and say, hey, enough is enough, and let's make this thing a movement. Some of the shirts and some of the sayings that we have on the literature is that, it's not a moment, it's a movement. With that being said, is that, a lot of time people will say things because of the mood they're in.
Right.
And we have to figure out, how committed are we once that mood is long gone? How committed are we 3 weeks from now?
Right.
And that's the thing that we have to realize, that, it's a movement. It's not just a moment in time. We want to make sure that everyone is on board, that's willing to work, understand that level of commitment. It's going to take a sacrifice.
Okay. Well, then, and let me ask you this. What do you think some of the problems, and I know we could sit around here and probably talk about 2, 3, 4 hours about problems, and I think it starts in the household. I think it starts in the household with a lot of the stuff and how we're raising our children. I think one of the issues we have is, the lack of father presence in the household. That's where it begins. And when we have the fathers coming back to the household, and look, we all know as black males, the dynamics of relationships a lot of times, unfortunately, why a lot of fathers are not in the household. But I think that fathers have to be present in the household, and that's where it starts. And when you have that strong father figure in the household, we can stave off a lot. It's because a lot of kids, truthfully, really today, especially once they get in their teenage years, they're raising themselves.
Correct.
They're raising themselves, and then you have peer pressure with school. You have this, that, and the other, and next thing you know, your child is caught up in the midst of something where they probably just ended up in the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong crowd of folks.
Yes, if you don't have that strong figure to say, hey, you need to stop hanging with so-and-so, so-and-so. So, that makes a difference when they're in the home with them. But now you have a situation where the fathers are not in the home, but still, that's probably some of the issues as well, that because they're not in the home, they're not being that strong presence, knowing that they should be, but they're not. You can still make a difference even if you're not in the home, just by showing up to school, or showing up to open houses, and things of that nature. Or even if little Johnny is playing soccer, show up to the soccer games, and let them know that you support them. And that'll start to make a difference. I coach basketball for the last 9 years now, and a lot of the kids we deal with come from single parent homes. But I find myself not just being a coach. We're mentors, we're friends. We're people, you build a bond with these kids over a course of time. Last night, heard a pastor say that, you think of an oil field. And this oil field, this oil rig is digging and digging and digging, and it's digging for years before it ever strikes gold. But the only reason why they're not picking it up and moving, because they know it's some oil there. Because in the same essence is that we have to keep digging and digging and digging and tearing down the walls of these young men until we figure out and pull out their potential.
Yeah, and I kind of second that with you. I coached City League for 6 years. Little Rock Ravens City Champions. Dango just gonna put that out there. And you're right. A lot of the children, they were from disadvantaged homes, economically disadvantaged homes. And it's so great now when I can look up, and those kids who at the time when I first came back here from law school was 8, 9 years old, who are now teenagers getting ready to get out of high school. They come back and they used to call me Coach Hack, because I used to always go upside their head with my ball cap. I didn't care. I do it right in front of the parents. Because, and they were good boys, but sometimes you had to keep them focused. You know, they were good boys, but you had to keep them focused. And now you see them, hey, Coach, how you doing? You know, they remember me as Coach Hat. They couldn't even remember my first name because it's so, you know, funny to pronounce. Like, hey, Coach Hat. And you see them now, and they're doing good, and they remember you. It's the same thing when I used to teach. When I used to teach Spanish. They see you now, and they come back now, and I see some of my kids doing good. They got jobs now. They're out of high school. And I said, you keeping yourself out of trouble? Yeah, I'm keeping myself out of trouble. And it's great that you can make a difference one child at a time.
Right.
Just keeping themselves out the system. I mean, knock on wood and praise God, my son has stayed out the system. He's 23, getting ready to graduate college. You know, I'm a proud dad. I can't wait to go see him walk across the stage in Fayetteville. So, you know, it is, and I've been there from, you know, from the day he popped right out. You know, I've been here. I mean, it was a struggle with his mom because, you know, and you know, but I always tell people it was me and his mom as a team, and a lot of times the team, you get in fighting in the team. But we stayed there and we raised him, and I'm proud he's kept himself in the system. He's doing real good. He's a business mate. He's going to grad school, and that's why I cannot stress to you guys the importance of fathers in the household. And fathers in the household. So now that we know that that's one of the underlying currencies of the problems in the family, let us talk about what is going on out here in this community. I mean, is it the issue we have too many guns on the street? Is it the issue that there's a subculture of our people that continues to be violent? Is it the issue that law enforcement is not partnering with the community? What is going on out here?
I believe a lot of it is just lack of education, lack of knowledge, lack of understanding what's really going on. I mean, you hear a lot of people say that. That'll say that they took religion out of the school. Right. But if you really look at it, we've taken religion out of the home. Right. And so it goes back to that. I mean, like you said, it starts at home. But we also have to realize that it's organizations out here that are working towards those goals. But we have to come from behind the cloth and really get to the areas to where we're uncomfortable. Okay. We have to get out of our comfort zone and go to places where we're uncomfortable and start reaching people. Okay. You know, we have to get out of our own comfort zone and go into other areas where these kids are.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, advocates, we're going to take us a quick break right quick, and we're going to come back. Of course, if you want to talk to any of these gentlemen and stress your opinions and concerns and things that we can do to help push this movement forward, you know, call us. Of course, our number's always 855-525-5683. Just call us back. We're going to take us a quick break. Thank you guys for joining us on another episode of The Devil's Advocates. Well, everybody, welcome back to The Devil's Advocates. And, of course, my illustrious co-host, Ash Cat, has came on down. I thought she was going to come and swing down on the pole for one time. She always late.
Right, I tell y'all, I hit that pole. You got some 50s and 100s. I hit it all day.
Well, will you take dollars and fives?
No, I can't do no dollars and fives. No, I'm above that now. I need 50s and 100s.
You need 50s and 100s?
50s and 100s. I hit the pole. I give you about a good 5 minutes.
I just do, you know, I want to do something strange for a piece of change. You know, okay, anyway.
It got to be a good piece of change. But I can't be bought. No, I'm playing.
But see, the goats, oh, never mind. So, again, we're back with the Crawford family. And, of course, we are talking about the anti-violence. Ash, let me just key you in right quick because I know, you was a little coming in a little late as usual. I'm not going to throw no shade on my darling co-host today. But they're with the anti-violence organization, Stop the Violence. And, of course, we always talk about Black Lives Matter. I agree with that and agree, of course, that all lives matter. We've been having this issue, and I definitely got to hit on this part because we cannot talk about this unless we're talking about the law enforcement and community involvement because it has been interesting. And, I mean, we've been seeing so much of this stuff happen in the second Obama term, but this is really nothing that we have not been seeing with our community for the last 60, 70 years since segregation. Yeah. Traffic stops are turning to people ending up dead. Right. People are going to jail and ending up dead, and there's no evidence of how they're dying. All of a sudden now people are going to jail on traffic tickets and ending up dead, deciding they want to commit suicide. We have to start talking about this stuff. Cops are taking shots at our people and they're getting off. And I mean, it's not even to the point where it even goes to jury trial. It doesn't even get prosecuted. It doesn't even get a grand jury indictment. So, these things we have to talk about. And I want, definitely to give something to the listeners today to absorb before we get out of here. So, Ash, as of course, as we're talking about it, I mean, you have any views on this that you want to talk about? Dan?
Well, you know how I feel about all of this. My stance has always been that it's not happening, and I get frustrated sometimes with younger black people. It seems like we forgot, or that we got so comfortable, and we didn't realize like we weren't accepted. I haven't forgotten, because I live in the South. I grew up in the country, and from time to time, periodically, I will have somebody call me. Can I say the word? I know we're on Christian radio, but they'll call me the NB, or ask where's my boss, or be surprised that I'm the owner, or the reason we had to put my picture on the website, because there would be people that would come in that would have a problem working with me because I was a black woman in business, and if you got a problem with that, I didn't want to deal with you. So I'm sad that it's happening, but at the same time, I'm so happy that there are always constantly smartphones and media that is streaming this, because we're in an age now where you can't deny it. Before, it could always be denied and hidden and covered up, but thanks to everyone with their smartphones, it's always out. So I hate that it's happening, but at the same time, I'm glad that it's being documented. And my thing is, I feel that this has always been going on. It's just documented now, so people can't hide from it. They can't run from it. There's always
the word of the officer, and that's what as far as it goes.
Right, and there's always someone now. Anytime I see even a routine, traffic violation, I've seen about 5 or 6 people pulled over this weekend, and there was some pedestrian somewhere sitting there recording the whole thing, because everybody is so suspicious of the police now and what they're doing, and that's the way that it needs to be.
Right.
And we need to, like y'all know, I always tell you, write your governors, write your senators. You can't have a 7-minute attention span and forget about it, and you can rant and rave all day on Facebook and Twitter and make whatever little memes you want to on Instagram, but you have got to do something, and you have got to vote, especially in these midterm elections, so that we can change the laws and we can actually have an impact.
Right, because I guess the question becomes is, what difference does it matter to write your governors, senators, and your state legislature when your state legislature are the ones proposing the draconian laws that you are subject to?
Exactly.
And the way you fix that is you don't let them get in office in the first place.
Exactly.
That's how you fix that. Because, I always tell people, once they get in and they have a constituency that constantly votes for them, you're in trouble.
Right.
You're in trouble until they mess up on their own so bad. Think about it. Let's just be honest. You have U.S. senators that don't have term limits that have served 40 years. So if he's repressive in nature in his social policy, who gonna get him out of there? Nobody. He has to be wrong on a national issue for people to change their mind about getting him voted out of office.
Right.
The local issues, he could sit down and say, well, I voted with the state of, I voted for the people of the state of Arkansas for X amount of years because this is what the people of Arkansas wanted. But the question was, who were the people that voted you in Arkansas, which was the will of the people?
Right.
Exactly.
If you have a totally conservative constituency that sits around here and says, well, we want drug testing for people on welfare. We want to have unrestricted gun use. And I think that is a dangerous policy, because, truthfully, the only thing that has not happened yet in this state is Arkansas, Tennessee, and Oklahoma, they have open carry. Mm-hmm. They're walking around like cowboys out there. I'm serious. I go to Memphis, but I see the brothers doing it too, so I can't hate on that too bad. But the Arkansas, the only state in between these two yet that have not just instituted a full open carry law. So, but it's coming.
Right.
It's coming. So my question is, once you become to a point that you put these many guns on the street, how can you not expect gun violence to go up? Because the truth about it is, when you have more guns in the hands of people get cowboy syndrome. Mm-hmm. Simple arguments turn into fatal occurrences.
Yeah, I agree.
Because people get a delusion of grandeur with power with a gun behind their hand.
Yes, absolutely.
So, and gentlemen, I'm sorry, let's get back with you guys. Tell us some more. What are you guys looking forward in the future that you're going to do? What do you guys got planned?
This month we have planned. We're doing a back to school partnership with Mount Pisgah in Jacksonville this weekend, from 11 to 2, I believe it is. Mm-hmm. We is also on the 15th of this month. We're doing another partnership with Rose City church at school out there, and so with that event that'll have free haircuts, free hairstyles.
All right.
Giveaway.
Can I go get them? I need
everybody.
I need to go get my jury curl back.
Right.
They'll
have stylists on hand for that. So you're in good hands with that. So and it's giving away backpacks, school supplies. So what we're doing is trying to partner up with as many organizations to get the word out and the awareness of the Stop the Violence. And what is a better time right before school start to plant that seed in the students' minds.
Absolutely.
And I want to say this for my people. People, don't come out and just get some free stuff. Come out and get involved.
Absolutely.
But you know our people, we gonna come out. I say fish fry, my door beat down, and I can go in there. Let me tell you something. When Jesus used to preach, he used to feed the people. I guess back in the days when prophets had to speak, if they wanted to keep a crowd there, he had to feed people because after 20, 35, 40 minutes, they tune out. But the question is, make people stay there long enough that once you feed them, once you give them their bread, that you also give them something to impact when they leave. And that's why I tell my people, don't come out there just get you free backpack and free books and get your free haircut. Come out there and leave impacted on what is going on.
Right.
Because one thing about black folks, we good about showing up. We good about that. Okay.
Well, I mean, don't discount us too much. Like, yeah, we're good at showing up, but if you instill something in someone, we're also good listeners. We're good actors. We are good participants. We have the biggest brains. We're genetically predispositioned to be greater and better at certain things, like as far as athletics and physical things. We have the biggest.
You looking for your ball player again?
No. We have we have the biggest brains too. So I would challenge some of the parents, and I guess because of where I grew up at, we weren't allowed to forget. So our parents always drilled it constantly in our head, the privileges that we have. And I think that some of the parents, you need to take a greater role greater than being, a financial provider. Like, get your kids out there and have them volunteer, have them mentor, have them tutor another peer that's their own age, have them car wash, have them go and cut the old lady's yard, and then talk to them about the importance of being able to vote. I'm always getting on the voting because that is what affects our laws, and so many of us do not vote and we don't participate in our community. You can't sit here and say, oh, all the white people always have this, and they have these great schools, and they have these great banks, and they have all these mom and pop shops and awesome restaurants in their neighborhoods and all this kind of stuff. We could have the same things, but you have to take an active role in your community. So get out and support these young men with the Stop the Violence movement and the Black Lives Matter. If you're near Rose City or if you're near Jacksonville, go out. Why not call them up and say, hey, do you guys need help with something? Do you need extra volunteers to do something? Do more than show up and take something from them, because they need you all to help them in the pursuit of their movement so that we can have a change, so that we can affect change.
Right. And don't forget, people, in unity, there's strength. If we were organized as the people, we would be a powerhouse in the country. I mean, what we also have to understand, minority groups in this country, the reason why you have some that are powerful as they are, even though they not as big as the demographic, is because they're united.
Right.
They unite.
Absolutely.
And I hate it that our people, we can get to a point sometimes we can be so backstabbing against each other. And we have to get it together. In unity, there is strength. And we can't just be unified when one of us gets killed. We have to be unified at all times.